So yesterday I climbed up and got our safety gear up there so other guys can climb up and be properly secured to the roof while we're putting in our rails. So the next step here is to mark out our roof, and we need to make sure that everything sits nice and tight. Now our designers do a great job, fantastic job. But it's always good to do a measurement, make sure that everything's nice and tight, because guessing is what's gonna get you in trouble. And I wanted to show you some kind of paperwork that you should probably bring up there if you're installing up on a roof. That's totally gonna help you install a system that is geometrically flush and looks good. So before going on the roof, you wanna bring some important documentation up there. So 1, you know what you're doing. 2, you don't mess up. 3, you work efficiently. And 4, it comes out beautifully. So the first thing that you want to bring up there is going to be your stamp building layout. Here we can see our main array, our dormer, our small hip, and our large hip. This is what we're going to be installing up top. So it's always good to bring that so you know exactly what you need to do and how many panels need to go where. Second one is you want to take some measurements, right? So you have a game plan and everything can sit centered and look good. So here we have the main house array with the dimensions, and we're also listing out things like the 18-inch setback. This location right here is going to be our fire run. And then when you're communicating to your master electricians and AC teams that are working down below and kind of running all of your home runs, right, from the inverter, combiner, whatever you're using, Enphase Solar Edge. So this is our solar deck zone. So we asked them, hey, leave us enough whip here. So when we're finished doing this array and putting it in, all we have to do is take that MC4, put it into the solar deck, boom, and we're done. And so we have these measurements here. And what's also important is the measurements of all the arrays themselves and where do the rails go. So what we can see here is array 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Array 1 and array 2, they're getting combined together. Just one's in landscape, one's in portrait. And down here we have our panel dimensions. So the Hamwa Q-Peak Duo Black MLG 10 Plus 405 watt modules are 74 inches high, 42 watt. What's also important is where your rails go, because in order for your insulation to be kosher, right, the rails need to go in the right space so we don't have a cantilever violation, hanging off of the rail. Generally, you want to be sitting around 30%, down onto the module. So what I have here also is our measurements for where our rail distances should be. So for these modules, when we're hanging them in portrait mode, we basically want 18 inches from the end of the module to where the first rail is. We have a 38-inch gap in between the two rails, and then it's 18 inches from the bottom, to that bottom rail. And if we're doing landscaping, more around 10, maybe 11 inches, 10, 11 inches from both sides is where that rail is going to sit on the module with 21 inches. Now, what's really important is when the rails go in, we do have the ability to slide within reason where these modules are to make everything look tight. But if you just take a little bit of time and you put together these dimensions and everything, when you go up onto a steep slope, which is what we're looking at right now, you know where everything's going, you know where all the measurements need to be, and you can quickly start calculating out where our margins are so you can start building and getting everything done. Right now what I have is the guys up top. They're driving in some pilot holes to find the rafters, and I'm getting prepared to throw the cougar paws on and start saving the planet.
Tonight's report, it feels good.